Hey, what's going on YouTube? Thank you for coming back to another episode of Scattered Brilliantly. My name is Travis, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 2016 BET Awards. The BET Awards were last night. They came on at 8, and overall, the show was just okay to me. I mean, on one side, there wasn't a whole bunch of ratchet stuff that happened, and it wasn't real hood or anything like that, but just, I don't know, I wonder sometimes if my expectations are too high for shows like this, like if I expect them to kind of go over the moon in entertaining me or something like that, or if I'm just slowly like growing out of enjoying watching award shows, because I guess I'm just so critical now when I watch them that it was just okay, like just okay. You know, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. It definitely wasn't bad. Definitely was smooth production, aside from the teleprompter seemed to be scrolling slow, so people were making like crazy faces because I guess the words weren't moving as fast as they were supposed to. But aside from that, there didn't really seem to be any hiccups in the show, which is a good thing for BET, seeing as how they're, what, 16 years in or 15 years? I can't remember if they started in 2000 or 2001. I think they started in 2001, so that means they're 15 years in. But, yeah. So I'm going to go through what happened. I'm not going to really get into it like that because yeah. So Beyonce opened up the show with Freedom. She also brought out Kendrick Lamar. To me, that was the best performance of the whole night. I mean, I've seen clips of her tour, so I know that routine is what she's doing on her tour right now. But, you know, I thought having Kendrick Lamar there added a different element to it, and it made it a little more crunk. And I thought the message was appropriate for how a lot of us are feeling right now in America. So I thought that was a great way to start it off. The BET Awards really didn't do a lot of advertising, it seems. I mean, maybe I just didn't pay much attention to it. But I've been watching Chasing Destiny, which was coming on Tuesday nights, and they had like advertisements that the show was going on, but I don't feel like they really said a lot about who was going to be there. I think the most that we've heard about who was going to be there was in regards to the Prince tribute, which I'll talk about later. But there didn't really seem to be a lot of advertisement for what was going on, and nobody knew that Beyonce was performing until like less than an hour before the show started because her dancers showed up or whatever. But I think she did a good job. The water thing I think looks really nice, but I was just thinking about like the people who were sitting on the front row. I'm like, y'all got dressed up in y'all's nice clothes only to get wet by Beyonce. But they look like they may have been a little bit further back so they didn't get wet. So, but good job, Beyonce. The hosts this year were Anthony Anderson and Tracee Ellis Ross. They hosted last year. And I guess those are kind of the go-to people right now for hosting because they're on Blackish and they're kind of hot, I guess, at the moment. They did okay, just okay to me. My favorite host for the BET Awards will always be Mo'Nique and Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer. Those first 4 years, when they did it, they were the best. Because it felt raw, it felt uncut. You could, like, when something went wrong, like, it was so entertaining what they were doing. I would love for Mo'Nique to come back and host again. But, you know, with the FCC and censorship, I don't know if she, even if she's the same type of comedian as she was back then. But she's definitely been one of my favorite people to ever host the show. But they did okay. They opened up, their opening monologue was a take on Hamilton, which is a show that I definitely want to go see when it comes to Charlotte. But I'm like, okay, I don't want it to be too much Hamilton in my life to the point that I don't want to go see it anymore. And I feel like they missed the mark because what they did was they did like a Hamilton remake using songs from this year. And I feel like they missed the mark because there's so many songs that they could have included and they only included like 3. And the commentary in between to me wasn't that funny. But, you know, it is what it is. Then they brought out Anthony Hamilton and kind of had a play on names because the show was about Alexander Hamilton. They brought out Anthony Hamilton and he was up there acting crazy. So I mean, I was kind of looking at the screen like this. That was my face for the majority of the night. So that was that. Taraji P. Henson came out next, and the only reason why I wrote her name down was because her whole banter about before the award was given out was about Beyonce. And I found it very interesting that it was about Beyonce because BET had just tweeted like not too long ago, can we admit that Rihanna's album was better than Beyonce's? And to me, that's kind of a slap in the face. Like, we already know Beyonce don't really come to BET Awards like that. And BET really hasn't done a great job of you know, showing their loyalty. You know, they talked about Blue Ivy some years ago. Well, Karrueche talked about Blue Ivy some years ago. And then to have that tweeted out, you know, I would have felt some type of way if I was Beyonce, to be honest with you. But it just seemed like they were like, she was either stretching time or they were like trying to redeem themselves with her. Either way, I didn't like it. And I honestly didn't like anybody's banter before the awards. I kind of feel like when I'm giving out the award for Best Male Hip Hop Artist, everything that I'm talking about before we give out the award, whomever I'm presenting with, needs to be about hip hop and about male rappers and artists. Like the banter that was going on, I call it banter because I don't know what else to call it. The banter that was going on between different people before they were giving out awards was just like completely irrelevant to what the award was about. And you can tell these people aren't friends and that they don't really gel and that they don't really mesh and that they're just put together by BET, and it just feels uncomfortable when you have these people up here. So like all that extra stuff that people would do before they present the awards, like I could have did without all of it. Every single group that presented, I could have did without all of it. Something different that I noticed this year was the BET Music Matters portions. Last year, you know, I pointed out the fact that, you know, BET like shines a light on these up and coming artists and gives them an opportunity to perform on the show. But last year, they would cut their performance off like 30 seconds into it. So you got their name and a little bit of what they sound like, and that was it. Well, they did it different this year. I guess they heard some of us, and they actually gave the Music Matters people the opportunity to perform their entire song. Like they did the whole song. So on one hand, I'm like, okay, thank y'all for giving them an opportunity to do this. But on the other hand, I'm like, we don't know them enough for them to do this much. Yeah, they need to do more than 30 seconds, but they don't need to do the whole song. Like, no. And of the people that performed, none of them sound like someone who I'm going to be checking into to try to find their music whenever it comes out. The next person that performed was Designer, and he performed Panda. Y'all already know I don't know the words to the song. But he was hopping around and he was doing a lot. He seemed like he was geeked up a little bit. And everybody in the audience was looking at him like, sir, I'm going to need you to go back up on stage and get your life together. He didn't even rap the majority of his song. The mic wasn't even up to his mouth, and his mouth wasn't even moving. He was just jumping around all over jumping around everywhere. And I was just like, I guess, you know, the song is hot to y'all. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, when the song come on, when I listen to the radio, because I don't listen to the radio, I mean, I get up, I do a little bit, but I don't know what he's talking about. The song's called Panda. Is he talking about animals? Is he talking about bears? Y'all let me know. Another thing that I think could have been different was the Prince tribute. Now, so similar to when Michael Jackson died, BET spread out the tributes throughout the entire show. The show was 3 hours and 40 minutes long, which was 60 minutes longer than it needed to be, honestly. But they spread out I think it was like four different tributes across the show. And I would have preferred them to just have done all the tributes right there at the same time and not spread them all out. Just because it was like taking the show up and down. And I think it kind of interrupted the flow of the show. So I think they could have done that differently. Of the people that... The dog is barking. Of the people that performed, the first people who performed... Of the people that performed, the first group was who? Oh, Erykah Badu and Bilal. I'm not a Prince fan. I mean, I like a lot of his songs, but I like his popular songs. And of all of the tributes, I only knew the words to one song. I don't know what Erykah Badu was singing. I don't know what Bilal was singing. Bilal gave me like I'm high on meth because he started rolling around on the floor and he was doing a lot, but I'm sure that was making a lot of people's panties wet. But I was just more concerned and confused for whatever it was he was singing. The next group that performed was Stevie Wonder, Tori Kelly, and Jennifer Hudson, excuse me. And it was didn't know the words of those songs either. But Jennifer Hudson came out and she was like, never meant to cause you any sorrow. Never meant to cause I ain't like that much. I didn't like it. She oversings sometimes, and this was one of those times. So no. Next person that came out for Prince tribute, Maxwell performed his own song, and then he also performed the Prince song. Don't know the name of either. And Janelle Monáe came out later. She did a very energetic performance. She's always energetic. I like to watch her perform. What did she perform? That's the thing, like, I don't know these songs, so I only could recognize, oh Lord, I hit the light. I can only recognize 2 songs, because she did, You Don't Have to Be Good to Turn Me On. You don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be rude to rule my world. Ain't no particular time. She did that. I like that song. I just want your extra time and your kiss. So I like that. But again, her performance was just, it was good, you know. I just wasn't moved by anything that really happened tonight, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought it was hilarious that after Beyonce left the stage, she bounced. Like, she was out there. She won that award, and she was nowhere to be found. Her mama had to go up there and accept both awards that she had won throughout the night, because she left to catch a flight to London for a show tomorrow. Show that's on the 28th, so it's on Tuesday. So, I mean, I guess she must have said, I need to go at the beginning of the show because I'm not staying here. Beyonce really don't do BET no more. She doesn't. Her 2 artists also performed for the Music Matters things. It's Haley. Is it Chloe and Haley? I think it's Chloe and Haley. I used to work with their aunt when I was doing a play. But I don't like their song, and I didn't. It's not for me. Something about when the beat drops, and the song was very much like, ooh, let's smoke some marijuana and listen to this. That's what the performance gave me. It's like, I should be high watching this. That's what I got from it. But I don't smoke, so that's why I was just looking at it like, okay. Let's see who else did something. Remy Ma, Fat Joe, and French Montana performed All the Way Up. That was straight. The guys in the New Edition movie coming out, they presented. Ironically enough, New Edition was here in Charlotte on Sunday night. So I was like, well, I know who's not going to be at the show, New Edition. But Bobby Brown popped up at the BET Awards. So I was like, well, you know who ain't at the concert? Bobby Brown. I ain't got a New Edition concert, but you ain't got Bobby Brown there. Was because he was in Los Angeles at the BET Awards, Charlotte. That's why he wasn't at the concert at the PNC Pavilion. I'm gonna watch the movie when it comes out, but they showed like the trailer for the movie and was like, coming 2017. I'm like, why y'all show a whole trailer for something not coming out till the next year? Like, I was expecting to say like September, October, but 2017, like, y'all could have kept that. Bryson Tiller also performed. His performance was cool. I'm gonna listen to his CD and see if I like it. I like that. Down. I like that song. Kinda, I think. I'm not sure. Alicia Keys. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what that performance was. It was very eclectic and different, and she was showcasing her various skills, but I wasn't here for it. I just wasn't. Then she knocked over the system at the end. I guess, you know, you just got money like that to just be knocking expensive equipment over. But I didn't like it. Also, after they would give out an award, they would show the previews for a movie that was coming out. So we saw the previews for Almost Christmas. We saw the preview for When the Bough Breaks, which to me just seemed like another remake, or something very close to The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. And I'm just kind of getting tired of black people remaking films made by somebody else. Like, can we just make some original films, like a completely original? It might be like similar, but just it doesn't feel like a complete remake. So saw that preview. I'm still gonna see it though. And we also saw Birth of a Nation, the Nat Turner story. So I don't think I'll be going to see it. I'm good on slave movies right now though. Layla Ali came out and gave a nice little tribute to her father. No One sang, and Jamie Foxx also talked a little bit before she came out, so you know that was cool. The Humanitarian Award this year went to Jesse Williams, and the Lifetime Achievement Award went to Samuel L. Jackson. And as far as the advertisements for the show, I never knew who was getting a Lifetime Achievement or who was getting a Humanitarian Award. Like, they did not advertise, to my knowledge, any of this stuff. But Jesse Williams got up there and he gave an amazing acceptance speech that was so culturally relevant to what's going on in America today. And I hope the majority of those celebrities in that room were not just standing up because everyone else was standing up. I hope they were standing up and paying attention and listening, because he was really saying some really great stuff. And I'm probably going to go back and listen to the speech all over again just to make sure I can fully dissect and take everything that he was saying in, because it was an amazing, powerful speech. Made you want to get up and just go F some stuff up, honestly. And on a side note, why was Spike Lee looking like he was waiting to give out golden tickets to the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Like, why I get it was for Prince, but he looked like Willy Wonka. All we needed was the Oompa Loompas to follow him around. Okay, we almost at the end. Future performed, didn't care about him. Sheila E. also did a Prince tribute at the end of the show. And two more things I want to talk about. Usher. Usher gave a decent performance, but the thing that's bothering me about Usher is conforming too much to what's popular, and I don't like that. Usher is a great R&B artist, and he has some great R&B albums, but I don't like the fact that he seems to follow the trend of the popular music at that time. You know, after his marriage with Tamika and all of that kind of stuff, pop music and EDM and house, that was big, and he moved into all of that with Oh My God and all of those kind of songs. Now, the song that he did last night sounded like a straight trap song, and I'm like, I wish you would just be R&B Usher and not be all of this, because it just didn't look right with him up there with those kids and the trap beat and all that kind of, like, it just ain't seem right to me. And something else that I wanted to talk about was when Beyonce's mom accepted the last award that she won. She talked about giving people their flowers while they were living. She was talking about the tributes have been beautiful, but BET needs to remember to give people their flowers while they're living. And I'm like, that's true. Like, I remember years ago when BET would honor music acts and have other artists sing their songs to them and give them, you know, these awards. Now, I don't know if that was Lifetime Achievement Awards or whatever, but I guess, I mean, obviously that wouldn't happen now because an actor won it, but I kind of miss those kind of tributes when the artist is still living. So I definitely think that's something they need to pick back up on, is honoring those artists who are still here. Like I said, all in all, the show was just alright. It was just okay. I wouldn't go back and watch it again. And that's just that. But thank y'all for watching my review for the 2016 BET Awards. Tell me what y'all think about it. What did you like? What you didn't like? What you thought could have been better? Make sure you like, rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be talking to y'all soon. Make sure you go over to the other channel, Two Light Skinned Brothers with Sense. We're going to have a video debuting tomorrow at 12 noon. So Tuesday, June 28th at noon, we will have a new video up on the channel. So make sure you go check that out. Again, my name is Travis. This is Scattered Brilliancy. Peace.